Last week, he surprised everyone when he and you know what? He has been one of the most dormant ministers in this administration. But last week, he surprised everyone when he announced that he signed an MOU with a company in the UK. So for the construction of, I think, Calabar, Port Harcourt railway traction. The name of the company is MPH Development Limited, registered by one Mr. Andrew Jason in the UK. Anyway, we check out the name of the company and it was discovered that actually the company was registered in 2019. And since then, the company has been dormant. And in fact, the UK government has threatened to disregister the company twice in the space of 5 years. So this is strange. However, that was not all. When we check the activities of the company, we discovered that, number one, the company has never handled any rail construction work in any country of the world before. Number two, the company is barely 5 years old with no track record of any activity. Number three, the net asset of this new company is, guess what, £100. And the striking thing is that they employed all Nigerians directors in the space of 6 months. The question we are asking is, how were they vetted? What was the criteria for them to have signed an MOU in Nigeria? What is their work experience? And when did they employ 4 notable Nigerians as directors in a space of 6 months? Was it just for the job? You know the most interesting thing? The CEO of the company, Mr. Andrew Jason, has already written on it page that they are already working on our railway system in Nigeria. And on Thursday, something striking happened. Mr. Ekpa resigned as the director in the company. However, the ministry came out yesterday with a statement. Guess what is in the statement? Guess right. A whole lot of nonsense. This whole contract is a scam from the beginning to the end. And we want well-meaning Nigerians to see that this and fight against this.
Okay, guys, we are back again. Happy weekend to you all. Yes, I can see that we have people that have commented, and I will start with this first comment from Ugo Wokedike. Ugo Nwadike. Yeah, that is his name. I am waiting for you to start my brother. Thank you so much. I hope you are still watching. Or have you waited and decided to go? Because I did not jump in on the program immediately after the scheduled the video. And Armstrong, I see you, my brother. Happy weekend to you. Good morning, your time. How are you today? Happy weekend to you all that are watching. Please like the video, comment, and tell us where you're watching. This is our first broadcast today, Saturday, 15th of June, 2024. So today, I just want to start this broadcast with the fake RNG companies, the federal government are using to deceive our people. Nigerian terrorists, as you can see here, this is from Transportation and Logistics Department, Biafran government in exile. They posted this on their Twitter handle and they said, Nigerian terrorist state will never disappoint. Fake contract, plan for construction of fake railway in Old Eastern region with UK company that never done anything job. But the company have been dormant since it was registered till date. You can't fool Biafra. Kindly listen. Kindly listen. So this our brother here, just analyze it in space of 2 minutes and 14 seconds. He just narrowed it down to the ground zero where they have planned and how they are planned, and using this kind of companies and fake employment and all that to deceive people that don't have time to to do the investigation and do some research. So that is how we are going to start the program. And if you can see the video now, you understand that we have titled this video response and message, not response, message from PM Biafra Prime Minister Ekpa to Igbo politicians. So we get there, okay? But let's touch some other things before we can, discuss about the message that he has, for Igbo politicians, people like of Abaribe and co. So this is Nigerian police learning how to sing their new national anthem. I know you like it just for your listening pleasure, not more.
Standardized anthem. Standard one. Nigeria, we hate it. Our legacy man. Those eyes and tongues hate it. Brother who is
But to be honest with you, I would like to know why they choose to, record this video, knowing fully well that what they're doing is laughable. How can you just record yourself learning how to sing national anthem? These are not people that are going through recruitment process. These are supposed to be, acting. Not they're supposed to. They are acting police officer. They are not. Trying to join police or something like that. They are already police officer. Let's continue listening to what they're saying. Just pay attention. If you notice that some of them thought that the national anthem, they have ended it, they have started clapping and trying to celebrate, without knowing that you still have many verses to go. Let me take it back a bit. To be honest with you, if I did not bring this video now, listen that you are not seeing the people singing, but you are listening to their voices. What would be in your mind? You would think that you are listening to nursery school or primary school student trying to learn this national anthem. But when you see the people that are chanting this national anthem, you understand that they are all adults. You can see them, but compare their ages and their look to what you are hearing. Does it make sense? As an adult, you are singing national anthem as if you are sleeping. My brother Basil Oyekwelu, I see you. Great job. Thank you so much for your great analysis and on current events. Your analysis is always very informative and on point at all time. God bless you for that appreciation. I just love that. I just love your comment. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that is it. That is it. And let. wait, so don't you think that these people are copying Biafra national anthem? Or because now Biafrans, we always say all hail Biafrans. That's all hell. It seems like they're copying it, but they said it's old national anthem, so probably maybe it's coincidence they have it and we also use it, maybe. But to me, I don't know why they choose to go back to that, to pick the old national anthem now, and I can't see any help, any benefits that this national anthem will give to Nigerians or give to their government. I don't understand. I think we need to avoid paying attention to that again, because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Everything about Nigeria is falling. Economy is falling. My eagles are falling. Now, even the president is falling.
This guy.
Everything about Nigeria is falling. Economy is falling. My eagles are falling.
Super Eagles are falling.
Now, even the president is falling. Everything about Nigeria is falling. Economy is falling. My eagles are falling. Now, even the president is falling.
Okay, we have this news to share with us. That we have this news to share with us that busted how Nigerian Attorney General Malami released over 300 powerful Boko Haram sponsors after collecting bribes. Left only full soldiers in detention. Malami have been the one of the, all these people when Buhari. When he's, I think that was it. I think it's his first tenure. Yes, his first tenure before second election. He used that opportunity to plant their brothers in every sector. This Malami committed a lot of made a lot of funny, dangerous decision that put Nigerian where it is today. And people don't understand, because not only Malami, we were told yesterday that a bandit that has confessed of his atrocities, how he buying many people and all that in Zamfara. Because Zamfara government or security agencies in Zamfara managed to catch up with him, and he confessed to them that he acquired people, how he acquired people, how the operation that he have participated on in the name of banditry. Then a call from Abuja came and instruct those people that was holding him to release him instantly. That is the country that we are talking about. Okay, that's the country. Now, the same country, our people are still making some decisions that's not of help. Like this, our sister you are seeing here, Okonjo-Iweala. She sacrificed many things to make Nigerian economy to grow and everything. When they called her to be finance minister, I think that was during the time of was it Goodluck or Obasanjo? I can't remember. I think Jonathan. during the time of Jonathan. And that is what Northerners are not happy. They said, why Northerners and the Yoruba people were, they joined hand together to make sure that Jonathan government ends, is because they felt that Igbos are being given opportunity at all. Then during that time, remember the economy of Nigeria was kind of strong. If you are in abroad, you understand what I'm saying. Compare the amount that you sent to Nigerian then and what you're sending today. So the difference is like from Nigeria to America. The gap is very, very wide. But the same people that championed that protest, if you remember, Showore and Tunde Bakare and Soyinka, those Yorubas people that contributed in doing that thing, today, they are all muted. That's why whatever Showore say about revolution now, take it, action now, take it now, grab it now, and all that, I don't believe it, because if you actually know how to build the economy, if you actually know what it takes to have a sane society, then you wouldn't have turned back on the Jonathan regime. I am not saying the Jonathan regime is the best and all that they don't have any problem with no corruption, no. But compare it to what you have today. And one thing I know about Nigeria is that once anything fall down, that thing can never go up. It will just going down, 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 down. Starting from the time of when they will introduce 500 naira, people said, "Wow, that Nigerian economy is going to collapse because now once you have that kind of high denomination, that you are to affect your economy. So it's a sign that the economy is not strong and all that." Because some country like Indonesia, you will hear that they have you will be hearing 5 million a note. You understand? But country that knows what they're doing, £5 or £1, you can't compare it with all those million you are talking about. Today we have 1,000 naira notes. Naira. So sorry about that. So when you see those things in a country, it's a sign that things are not going well. But now you don't need to wait until you see this kind of sign. Maybe you can say that that's the early stage. You will see those signs. But now it is very, very visible that everybody can see. Everybody can see. Armstrong said, after our Biafra come, I will see if we still be coming from Abuja. Mad people everywhere. Some people don't understand that Biafran are going to be redeclared also in this December. But there are also other things that we need to understand before December comes, which is where we have failed as Biafran. I will see if call will still be coming from Abuja. Okay, my brother. Thank you. Okay, he said after our Biafra come, I will see if call will still be coming from Abuja. Call will come. They will see if Biafra come. Call will come to them, not to us. After all, the one that came is Zamfara, and not in the east yet. Maybe there is, but I'm not aware of it. But in the east, and this those calling, to release and do this, they are all Fulanis, making sure that their brothers are being protected. Whereas our own is asking you to sign petition, call Finland, call this one. They are the one making move because they know the role they are played against the people. So you do everything to make sure that people will not see it. Anyway, let us hear what Okonjiwara said here. It's just a short video, but I want you to hear what she said.
That's what I did. I was at the World Bank.
Wait.
That's what I did. I was at the World Bank enjoying myself. And I was invited to come back, very risky. And I took one of the biggest risks in my life to go back. Because you know what? When you fight corruption, those same people fight you back. And if they can't fight you, they snare you. So they kidnapped my mother and held her for 5 days. I said I should resign. And I refused. They threatened me. And even after I left, they continued to malign my name. That's why I wrote, fighting corruption is dangerous. But who will fight for you, you Africans in the room? I took a risk. Because even people, there are people, sensible people, who still believe Okojiwala did something. Just because those people try to damage your name. But in spite of all that, don't forget one thing. I went and I fought. And so when my grandchildren ask me, I'll be able to lift up my head and say, yes, I did something. What are you going to say? That's what I did. I was at the World Bank enjoying myself.
Yes, you're enjoying yourself, but did you learn from that? Now you admit that it's a mistake. Have you learned from that? If anybody tell you today that the best thing is Biafra, you say no. And the sad part of it is that she witnessed Biafran war. At least she's not they did not born after war. I'm sure that she's a child or maybe a little girl, something like that. But her age, she must have something. She must know something about Biafran war, and with her level of education and exposure, she must have, pay attention to some of the things that caused Biafran war. So these are things that our people. Can you imagine that if Fulani managed to resist, like Biafra have resisted Nigerian during the war, and today you are doing to them what Nigerian government are doing to our people? They will never, ever allow that kind of thing to happen again. They will, in fact, they will revenge, because Fulani said, I was told that one of their norms is to revenge. They don't forgive. Even if it take them 100 years to come back to revenge, they will do that. And you have seen that that was why they focused on Medugri. There's history between Hausa people and Fulani in that community, and that history is what Fulani people have made sure that they revenge on that community, and they are doing it perfectly well. So when you do something with them and think that everything is okay, normal, everything is normal, it's not normal. They will still come after you. They will still come after you. It is not normal. So please, before I will talk about this video down here, the PM, this particular video you are seeing here, okay, let me see if I can read the caption for you to see. No. Let me flip the camera, because the man there is a police officer, Oduduwa man, okay? Sorry about that. I have to attend to something. Please, the reason why I will not share I will not play this video for you to see, is that the police officer here, this Oduduwa man, is in full of blood, and people that own the platform will not encourage us to. They don't encourage us to show that kind of picture or video. So please permit me for not showing that video. This one happened today. Okay, today, yes. Koiki shared it. If you want to watch it, go to Koiki's Twitter handle. Is there 2 hours ago? Breaking news: Fulani terrorists attacked Nigerian police at Soro checkpoint southwest of Nigeria. Now, Soro, I don't know if it's Lagos. I don't know if it is Lagos or maybe another state in Yoruba land. Koiki tagged United Nations. He tagged many people, and he said, "I pity everyone who want to save Nigeria." This is a police officer. Now listen. In the southeast, Biafra had made it clear that police should leave checkpoints alone. they should pack every checkpoint, close it, shut it down. In the southwest, they have checkpoints, but not as we have it in southeast. In southeast, almost every pole. You understand? So it's like I told us in the video that we did 3 days ago of a lady from Calabar that went to Abra to buy some goods, and she's doing her business in the northern part in Abra precisely. She told one of her friends that checkpoint from is it from across the southeast? I don't know. Let me not say what I'm not sure of, but the checkpoint that she passed through is almost 40. It's almost 40 checkpoints. I don't know where she started counting the checkpoint. That's what I said. I don't want to say what I'm not sure of. But in the southwest, the Fulani people are the one engaging police officer in their checkpoint, not the indigenous people that own the land, the Oduduwa people. Now, this police officer, you can see they nearly fight him. I don't know if he succeed. I don't know the level of injury that he sustained. But whatever, whether he's very big or small, the Fulani people from the north, they are in the southwest, in Yoruba land, engaging police people in their checkpoint. Now, imagine if these Fulani people are Igbos that is going after Oduduwa people, police people in Yoruba land. You will see that both those of them that don't even know anything about Nigeria, they have something to say. Both religious leaders, politicians, political leaders, traditional leaders, all of them will have something to say if it happens to be an Igbo. Just that you try to vote is a problem. Now, the same Fulani people that nearly fight this man or that made him to sustain this kind of severe injury, the same people are the same problem that Igbos are facing in Southeast. South people are facing the same people. But why is it that Oduduwa people, Yoruba people have kind of relaxed mind when something happened to them from Fulani people? They don't care about it. They don't. Only few of them like Koiki. To me, if you ask me to, let us exchange people among ourselves. I have many people that I will send with some of the Yoruba people. I will transfer them to join Yoruba, and I have many people from Yoruba people that I will swap them to Igbo. One of the people that I will swap to Igbo is Koiki. I like someone that know what he wants and stand on that, no matter the consequences, no matter what it takes. He's Sunday Igbo, and I don't know much about Sunday Igbo, but I believe that if Koiki have somebody people that he can work with, Oduduwa nation is a very very fast achievable. It is very, because their politicians is not as they don't have the same mindset with the one with what we have in Southeast. Not the same mindset. The mindset is totally different. You find out that politicians from Oduduwa land, they love Yoruba, they love Oduduwa Yoruba people more than anything. That's not the fact. They love their people, not to make them not to develop, give them development, because all of them are corrupt. Okay, that's not the fact. But in the midst of these corrupt people, they are more liberal in terms of the way they deal with their own issue. That is what made them to release Sunday Igboho without any politician from Southwest questioning him. Even though some of them that don't like Sunday Igboho, they know how to keep their mouth shut. But on our own, someone that is struggling to even register his name in any political office, in any political party in Nigeria, Southeast, not even in Nigeria, not even in the federal, we have something to say against Masna Modokan. We have something to say against Amonema. We have something to say against anybody that Nigerian state arrest because of the Biafra issue. They have something to say. Why must it be that? Why is it like that? Because our people believe that the best way to be recognized in Nigerian politics is to save your people. Whereas you don't have that in Yoruba land. If the effort of Biafra so far, if Yoruba can get to that level, they will have their Oduduwa nation one hand. That's my belief. So, for some of the Oduduwa people, I've seen some of them making, funny posts and laughing at Igbo people. You are first class citizen, you are second class citizen, and some of them are making that kind of mistake. When you see a video like this, that your brother in Nigerian police are being attacked, you can see this man. I don't think this man will survive this injury. I don't think. His eyes is even turning. I don't think he will survive it. He's on police uniform, so it's not as if that they don't know. So because why I'm calling you out, some of you that are your focus is on Igbo people, insulting and talking down on Igbo people. When you see your brother serving in Nigerian police or army, be not army, because here and of course work with those ones that attack them, police officer. And the reason why they attack this one, because they're very, very sure that people that are on that checkpoint are indigenous Yorubas. If not, they wouldn't have. They would have maybe they would do a spread the cup. All correct, they will go their way. That's all. But here is your brother going through pain because of Fulani man in your land. But what will you do? No, your next post is about P2P and Igbo people. You join people that are actually dealing with you to talk down on people, that the same people that are going through pain that you are going through. Is it not laughable? Anyway, Peter Hyacinth, I see you. Hello, good morning. I see your comment. Diana is here as well. Diana said, good afternoon, Kai Report, and everyone on the program. Thank you, my sister. Anthony Umeje, I see you. Our brother from Chile, I see you. So, what do you think about this? Because I would have loved to share this. Okay, let me see if the voice will come out. Let me play the voice. I believe the voice will not have will not be any issue. I don't understand what he's saying, but I believe that he's kind of almost crying or calling God for help and something like that. Because I hear alone something like that. Alone, I think that's alone. I don't know if it's God. Anyway, the message that PM have for that we actually want to share is here. Okay, that will be the, because we are going to come back again, of course.
Nigeria so many years ago, through government, what did they do? They returned their award. And like I promised Nigeria, if they have not received the medal that I won for Nigeria so many years ago, are going to receive it as soon as possible. Because today I denounce Nigeria. And everything I am going to be doing, and like I have done in the past, we continue to do, will be for the best interest of the restoration of Biafra and for the Biafra people.
Now, before we continue with the video, let's read what PM said. Please forward this message, forward this to Musa, okay, Abaribe, and co-criminals. I am just starting. Please forward this to Musa, Abaribe, and co-criminals. I am just starting. Now listen.
Government, what did they do? They returned their.
Let's start from the beginning.
Government,
Okay.
What did they do? They returned their award. And like I miss Nigeria, if they have not received the medal that I won for Nigeria so many years ago, they are going to receive it as soon as possible. Because today I denounce Nigeria, and everything I am going to be doing, and like I have done in the past, we continue to do, will be for the best interest of the restoration of Biafra and for the Biafra. I have no contact. I cut every ties with Nigeria. I cannot be part of a terrorist country. I cannot be part of a country that sponsors the killing of their own people. I cannot be part and proud to call myself Nigeria or even have anything associated with Nigeria. So the fight between the Biafra people and Nigeria from today is the restoration and the total liberation of Biafra people from Nigeria. Thank you very much. And let it be in the history of this freedom fighting that Simon Ekpa on this day, in case if you think that my own Biafra is the one I am doing and then I will be going back and start collecting money or start having meetings with politicians. Never. Let it be on record that on this day, the second day of April 2022, I denounced Nigeria. If you, although I have denounced Nigeria before, but I think maybe to some people it may not be enough. So I officially destroy the passport of Nigeria that I have in public and on live broadcast that I have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Nigeria. The only ties between me and Nigeria is to fight until the entire world will remember that Biafra people have been treated very badly.
So that is it. And imagine after saying this that he said here, okay? After making this video, that's back then 2022. He told the whole world that he's no longer part of Nigeria. And he gave the reason. That the reason was Nigerians buy their own people. That he cannot be a part of a country that buy their own people. A country that, that sponsor terrorism. A country that is not after people's life, after people's welfare. They always, instigate problem that will buy people they claim they are governed. Now, after saying that back then 2022, somebody is here in 2024 telling you this.
I'm not egg. I am calling on Finland government and Finland embassy in Nigeria to provide someone Ekpa. Our military are not egg. That anybody who call himself the supporter of IPOB and ESL can be killing our military and our police. It's a lie. We want peace across the country, which is a renewal agenda. We want prosperity, we want increase, and we want transformation across our nation. So, Simon Ekpa, I am calling on the Finland president, the Finland embassy in Nigeria, to return back Simon Ekpa to Nigeria, because this is where he comes from. Every other document he has is a fake document. Return Simon Ekpa. Return him. I remain the prophetic offer, Prophet Godwin Igbo. I stand for peace. You can't destroy only one country that I have and take peace from me. It's not possible.
You know, why I believe that this man is why I believe that this man is from Edo is simply because he said that you cannot destroy the only country that he have. Because only Edo people believe that they don't have any country apart from Nigeria. In fact, Fulani people are now waxing, claiming these are people that are not indigenous. They came to Nigeria through conquest. Now, Edo people happen to be, indigenous of the land. What I mean by the land, I mean the land they occupy in the Benin. Not everybody. So they are now looking for where to belong. In fact, there's no Edo man believe that one day, in fact, they are not even dreaming of it, that one day they will become president or have something to offer. They don't believe that because they know their level in the country. They know that the only thing that they don't when you say that you want like Oduduwa people, that they want to have Oduduwa nation, they're not after Oduduwa people because they think that Oduduwa people are just, having get together. They're not serious. Why they are not coming after Biafrans? We have seen many videos, Wounded Civilian and other guy that played his video last time, and this one here, because I believe that this guy is from Edo. If anybody, if you know where he actually come from, please let us know so that we are not we'll not be talking out of point. But my gut feeling, told me that this guy is from Edo, from Benin City. He said his name is Godwin, whatever, I don't know what you call himself. But please, if you say that PM is that this is where he belongs and all that, you are not only lacking information, but you are actually insulting yourself in the public. You can go to Finland and bring him back if you are man enough, foolish and stupid man that has no roots. I am sorry for your family. My sister, you don't need to sorry for him. He don't even know where he come from. Like I said, Benin people are the one. Normally some of us believe that Northerners will be stranded if Nigerian divide is a lie. They are not going to be stranded. In fact, they have everything to be on their own now. Now I'm telling you. Do you know why they use? Some of us don't understand why they have Boko Haram in the first place. Immediately, the Northerners noticed that Zambisa have, I think what is called uranium. I think uranium that is there in Zambisa. That land that Fulani people, Boko Haram are, where they occupy now, Zambisa, have a lot of natural resources. Now, for you not to go there to milk these natural resources, the best way to protect is to use insurgency to put it there in Zambisa. No structure is in Zambisa. No community is there. It's an empty land. Nobody lives there. So, for federal government not to use their federal power to get those natural resources the way they're getting your own in southeast and south and some part of Oduduwa land, they have to plan their boys using money they got from what they take from your own land to arm them, to safeguard those lands, that natural resources, because they know that when oil gets over, when everything finished, when they have made it to the ground, to the zero, then they can also say, okay, let us divide. In fact, when they feel that oil is not of a benefit anymore in the world, in the world, or because they know that everything will go right, is step by step. They are protecting the natural resources in Zambisa for their own children, not for you. Some of us don't, because Fulani people, one thing I will give them credit is they are very good in planning ahead. Very, very good. Between Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and other ethnic groups in Nigeria today, only Fulani people have that gift of planning what they will achieve in the next 200 years. They are good at that. And none of us know how to handle that kind of thing. They are only one that know how to do it. So in Zambisa, they have everything. Zambisa, because they have everything, natural resources in those areas. Now their boys are there. You think that there is insecurity. How many years now? How many years? No federal government that are capable of going to Kenya with their mighty power and everything they claim they have to kidnap Azamaican with intel. They don't have intel to capture people that are financing Boko Haram in Nigeria within the country. And when you bring that, we have not seen Tegona jet fighting in Zambia. Have you seen that? That's why it's no jet will fly there. If you fly, they will bring you down. Because first of all, they believe that somehow when another opponent, because they consider you as an opponent, if from Yoruba you are an opponent, if you are from Igbo you are opponent, of course. And the transaction of the country is between Yoruba and them. So when a Yoruba man got to power, like the one we have now, if peradventure he changed his mind to go after people that occupy Zambia, they make sure they use Buhari's regime to make sure that they equip them to the extent that they are armed to the teeth. Anything you want to do, bring it there, they are there. And they will keep you busy in your villages by telling you, ruga. They want to bring their cattle in your house, in your land. They want to use that to distract you so that nobody is talking about Boko Haram these days. How many of you, how many, nobody. The only thing they do is, if they notice that there are many recruitments, we have many people, brave soldiers, people that they think that you are brave, that you can cause problem in the future, and you are still the junior staff in army now. They will say, okay, we are going to wage war. You have to go to Facebook Haram so community. They will still give the information to their boys to lay ambush, and they will bring you to go there and go and engage them. Once you go there, they will buy everybody. Oh, Nigerian soldiers are crying. A lot of they buy not less than 30 soldiers. Boko Haram buy not less than. And when you hear Boko Haram buy soldiers, it has become normal. Nobody want to ask why, what happened. Nobody is asking about the activity of Boko Haram anymore. The focus is now Fulani herdsmen and banditry. Whereas Boko Haram are now relaxed. They don't have, this is their plan, and they're doing it perfectly. Our people don't pay attention to those things. I see you, my sister. Godwin, you are here. Godwin said that Blue Diamond is in Zambia. Okay? That's another natural resources. Happy weekend, my brother. Thank you, Helen Peters. I see you. Thank you for your good work. I see you. Thank you. Armstrong, this plan don't fail them. Yeah, you can say that. The only plan that failed is not to take Zambia. Zambia can never go to Nigeria anymore. You see that point? No Nigerian government will go there to take any natural resources ever. It's not possible because they have deceived Oduduwa people that Igbo men let us it's between me and you. Forget about it. This country is between us. The only people that we may make attempt to engage Zambia people, these people in Zambia, are Igbo people, but not P0lit. No, P0lit cannot, because P0lit is too. He's not. I don't want to say down to earth. The way I'm seeing him is he's not. He can't make it, and I don't want to start looking for Igbo man that will make it. Because I don't even want Igbo man to become president, the Nigerian president anymore. Whether he make it in Zambia or not, is of zero benefit. It's of zero benefit to our people. So there's no point. I don't wish, and I cannot advocate for that. Never, because there's no point. So, what makes you? What do you think that makes Nigeria federal government to reject or to refuse any army or any general commanding their boys or to air bombardment of Zambia? Do you know they have what it takes to launch that kind of thing in Zambia? But they are looking for a reason to launch that kind of attack in the southeast. That's just a fact. They are looking for a reason to do that. But in Zambia, no. Nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to talk about it. So let me just conclude this video by bringing to you what PM said in the past about Uchembefo. Then the person that poses is Emmanuel Gentle. Let me expand the message. He says, as you can see here, Prime Minister Mazi Ekpa said, I made an effort to pass a message to our leader Mazi Kano through Uchembefo, but Uchembefo received the message and hold on it. This was the evil man acting as a deputy leader to our prophet Mazi Kano, and all his criminals were not genuinely fighting for Biafra freedom. And all these criminals, all these criminals were not genuinely fighting for Biafra freedom. Rather, they were busy creating a position in IPOB to fix themselves inside Nigerian politics. Now, let's hear what PM said, and this will be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Please, before you go like the video, comment and tell us what you think about what you have discussed so far. We are going to be back again. So the video you are about to watch now will be the last, and thank you so much.
I came to this struggle, I came prepared. I did not come here to teach I came prepared. And when I was discussing with Uche before, then it is not something I want to do. I know so many times that I tried to this Uche before, but these are the people who blocked everything that was coming to Mazi Kano. So when they see that you are, that is something you have, or maybe they see that something you are carrying that they don't carry, they don't want you to make news of Mazi Kano at all. So everybody that know how they fought to stop the brokers that our Muslim Mazi Kano on our platform there, they did everything to stop it. Because they know there is something in this guy, right? There is something in this guy. So it was the whole health that Mazi Kano was not appear on that platform. So there is something that they saw that many people did not see. And that is what they don't want to. They don't want that in the soul me to, to be out to the public. But they had a people that say, but this is the example of the adage of so no matter how, you can never come out pregnancy. Because the more you die, the more after relation out. That was actually the explanation of what these people did. Because then I was advising Uche before what to tell to Mazi Kano. And when I said those messages, who knows? It doesn't get to him. So I find out that most of the conversation between me and Uche before doesn't get to Mazi Kano. And of course, at the end of the day, you see how God works in his own game. And Uche was out of the game. That was when God began to position, because the Biafra is a spirit and is a divine mandate. So it is going to shape the whole thing to make sure that this Biafra comes, Uche will come and problem. And it was out. Now, the next person was this God. God was the first person to attack me. He was broadcasting. I was attacking me. This, that. Many of you still have that broadcast. On that broadcast, when he was attacking me, for the very first time, he said, if they're going to war for the direct contact will go in. So
sorry, I think the background sound on the video is more louder than the voice of PM. So there's no point, and I don't know if the voice will also have a copyright issue. So to avoid it, we are going to end the video now. Thank you so much for your time. And like I said, we are going to be back again. Have a wonderful weekend. See you again on our next one. Bye-bye for now.